Hey guys, today we found out that Gummy is giving us a brand new banner, and this one might be worth spending your lapis on. So let's all board the hype train and find out what's going on. So this week we get a brand new Final Fantasy Brave Exvius event that features 4 brand new units. First up we have Heltich. He's a black mage that can go from 3 to 5 stars. He is so close to being a really good unit. He's got 4 different Aga abilities, and he's also got passives in both magic and MP. But what really holds him back is that lack of a 6-star. With no natural dual cast or any 6-star abilities, if you're gonna have a 3-star base mage, you might as well stick with X-Def. Our next unit is Orica. She is a physical damage dealing berserker that is a 3-star base that can be awoken to a 5-star. She does have a decent trust mastery reward in Resuscitate. It boosts attack, defense, magic, and spirit when your HP drops below a certain level. I could actually really see this being useful if you slap it on your tank. There have been many times in boss battles where your tank is being pounded and getting so close to being KO'd that little bit of stat boost might be the difference between staying alive or dying. She does have perhaps the most interesting set of abilities I've ever seen in a unit. They're almost all counters. How useful she is as a unit, time will tell, but she may carve out a niche in your party or possibly in the arena. Next up, we have Emperor Kaiser Sohze. He's a tank that has a 4-star base that can be awoken to 6 stars. He's actually a pretty good unit that has really good stats. I could see him easily sliding into almost any current party and tanking for them. He's got a good Trust Mastery reward in Emperor's Majesty. It boosts HP and attack by 20% and gives you back a little bit of MP with every turn. His list of abilities are actually equally impressive. He gets the ability Suppression, which is a physical damage that will decrease fire resistance by 50% for 3 turns to 1 enemy. He also gets Finger Snap, which will dispel an enemy while attacking him. And like any good tank, he gets Provoke. He has another ability called Siege of Zoldad. It does fire physical damage to all enemies and increases fire resistance by 40% for 3 turns to all allies. He has another good one in Defense Order. It increases defense and spirit by 40% for 3 turns to all allies. On Fire does physical damage to 1 enemy, but adds the fire element to his attacks for 5 turns. I think his best ability as a tank comes in the form of Boulder's Stance. It increases his defense and spirit for 5 turns. This will be most useful when a boss is gearing up to unleash his devastating attack. Last up, we have Hellshaft. It does fire physical damage with ignore defense by 25% and has a 30% chance of inflicting paralyze to all enemies. For a 4-star base unit, he's a really excellent unit and a really good tank, and he's definitely worth pulling for. Last up, we have Aileen. She's the 5-star base unit in this banner, and she can be awoken to 6 stars. For months now, she's reigned at the top of Alterna's ranking list, but the question is, why? First, let's take a look at her Trust Mastery reward named Artisan. It's a spear that has an incredible 135 attack, and it's got an earth element attached to it. This would be a fantastic weapon to equip on her, but as well as other units that have a passive that increase their attack power when they're equipped with a spear. One drawback to her is she doesn't have natural dual wield. To really maximize her, you'll have to throw on either a dual wield materia or a Genji glove. That being said, let's take a look at her abilities. Her first ability is Limit Gather. It does physical damage with ignore defense by 25% to one enemy while increasing the limit burst gauge by 200%. Her next ability, Recovery Oil, demonstrates how she can be a support unit as well as a damage dealer by recovering HP to all of her allies. Her next support ability is called Refreshing Tool. Kinda like Noctis's cover, it will refresh MP to all allies for 3 turns. Groundwork is an ability that does physical damage with ignore defense by 25% to one enemy while adding the earth element to the attacks for 5 turns. One thing I do want to mention is that currently there aren't really any other units or weapons that have the earth element, which may cause chaining to be difficult. If memory serves me, I believe the Golem Staff right now is the only weapon that has the earth element. Her next ability, Build Earth, can come in really handy during trial bosses or raids. It increases the resistance of Petrify by 100% for 3 turns to all allies. Her last ability, Piledriver, does physical damage with ignore defense by 50% and decreases earth resistance by 50% for 3 turns to one enemy. This is kind of like Orlando's Divine Ruination, except that it has the earth element instead of the light. Besides good abilities, she also gets some really great passives. These include Attack plus 30, Auto Refresh, HP plus 20%, and MP plus 20%. But she also has another one called Analysis. It does Attack plus 30% and increases physical damage against mechanical and stone monsters. So those two stack, which means she gets an attack of 60%. And one huge benefit in using Aileen is that she can equip pretty much all weapons and armor, so she becomes extremely versatile. At this point, you might be saying to yourself, she seems like a good unit, but why is she at the top of the tier list? And the answer to that is her future enhancements. They are just ridiculous. After enhancements, her Piledriver will hit for 7 times, all while decreasing the earth resistance by a whopping 75%. And if that wasn't enough, her Analysis passive gets a huge improvement. It still has attack plus 30% and HP plus 20%, but it now has a 75% damage increase against mechanical monsters and a 75% increase in physical damage to stone monsters. But the thing that makes Analysis just truly epic is she now has a 50% increase in attack when she's equipped with a spear. So with her passives of attack plus 30%, another attack plus 30%, and another attack plus 50% when she's equipped with a spear, her attacks become truly devastating. To sum up Aileen, she is a very good unit, but one day she'll become an absolute amazing one. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope it helped you decide if this is a banner that is worth pulling on. For more Final Fantasy Brave Exvius videos, feel free to subscribe to the page.